Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan with Boston Collectors, and today we'll be unboxing and reviewing Imperial Jyn Erso from Rogue One by Hot Toys. Beginning with the cigar band wrapped around the lid of the shoebox style packaging, we have Jyn Erso's name and photo. Located on either side of the band, you'll find Jyn facing the front of the packaging and a coin style side portrait. She's also considered a Sideshow exclusive where she was only available through Sideshow with limited availability. Decorating the front of the box just above the embossed Star Wars logo, we have Jyn Erso geared up and ready to go in her Imperial armor. Upon removing the lid of the box, we're met with an art card featuring Jyn Erso peering off to the right at K2SO out of frame. As always, if you're enjoying what you see so far, don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. Consider joining the channel for additional videos featuring my workflow and more. This is a quick one, so let's go ahead and continue. Right out of the box, Jyn's equipped with a pair of relaxed glove hands. While there aren't any accessories to contribute to them, sometimes you don't need them, which makes it great for museum poses or a neutral appearance. Next, we have one right trigger hand. It's unfortunate that a pair wasn't given and further promote Jyn being posed to her right more often than not. Getting back on topic, this leads us into the SC-14R blaster. This is relatively standard and we've seen this with plenty of releases in the past. Although this one appears a bit more weathered. For our last pair of hands, we have C-gripping hands for the batons. Or if you're looking to have a fist-like appearance, it's possible. These are obviously used for the batons included, which are pretty cool to see in 6-scale form. They aren't heavy, even with the included magnet feature we'll discuss momentarily. Doubt I'll use them, but cool to have. As mentioned a moment ago, these can magnetize to the back of Jyn's armor. On both batons, you'll find 3 dots that will let you know where the magnet is to connect. Even if you place it in improperly, the armor does a good job at correcting it for you. From here, you're all set if you don't care to use them. Lastly, we have the base featuring a tinfoil nameplate. The top of the base is fairly average, but feature a darker appearance than what we've seen before. Jyn's not flying anytime soon, so Hot Toys added a crotch holder to keep her in an upright position. Now that we're done, once you find a pose suited best for your display, you're all set. Jyn was never really a figure that I had on my radar. Not to mention, I didn't feel her likeness was that great from the media I've seen in passing. Well, after picking this up from an extended family member, that all changed during recording. The hair is tied in a realistic way in a small knot with a few flyaways. The hair parted down the middle and the way the hair is layered adds a sense of depth that I haven't seen since having Hunter. As for the 360 spin, you'll see how all the features appear under a different type of lighting. The neck joint doesn't bother me, and I feel the hair on the sides of her face does a great job of hiding it. Again, I don't know what I was thinking before, but this really does look like Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso, especially in the next section, so hang tight. With more controlled lighting, now we get to see what we really have. If this shot isn't Felicity Jones, then I don't know what is. For a figure released in 2017, Hot Toys did a great job. Even though my only negative is the fact that she's looking up and off to the right. Apart from that, it's a phenomenal portrait. The helmet is pretty straightforward, although I do feel as if Hot Toys dropped the ball a little bit here. The visor doesn't move to reveal Jyn's eyes, which would have been cool to have. On the back, I like the added detail for the helmet strap molded in plastic, which will still show a skin-textured neck. As for the 360 spin and a portion of her Imperial suit, you get a feel for the overall look. This is more than likely what I'll use for my Imperial display, alongside a few Death Troopers and the like. Speaking of Death Troopers, I'd say this appearance is closest to the version from The Mandalorian due to the similar grime found throughout the crevices. Overall, it's a decent helmet. It's just unfortunate we didn't get a half portrait with a movable visor. I find that the figure's tailoring is where all the fun is. The greeblies on the left forearm, the Imperial logo on both sides of the outfit, and the pockets and the overall stitching, which really tie it all together with the armor. While I could go on forever about the tailoring and design, I'll let the footage roll and discuss the body. It isn't the best. The arms are kind of loose at the swivel, and it's somewhat difficult to maintain even a basic pose without fear of her falling over. She was released in 2017, so I'll give them somewhat of a pass. Speaking of, she's extremely short in comparison to figures you'll see momentarily. You have your kinda basic expectations. And I say kinda because things are different now versus before. Her body is double jointed, and everything from butterfly joints to a swivel at the bicep all exist, apart from a swivel at her thigh. Other than that, her overall design is pretty cool. Not $800 to $900 cool on the secondary market, but cool. If you own her in your collection, let us know what you think. Or if you're looking, hopefully you found her at a reasonable price. To start, we have K2SO. Don't let the perspective fool you though. Side by side, she's very small. Next up, we have the Death Trooper, a better companion piece if you're into collecting Imperials. Again, pretty small in stature compared. And lastly, we have Director Krennic. They pair pretty nicely if you're going for an overall Rogue One display versus separating them. To summarize my thoughts, this figure is pretty nice, but I couldn't see myself paying over $400 for it, let alone what the current asking price is. She was never on my radar, so even $400 is a stretch. However, since I have her, she's an awesome piece to the collection. Not to mention her portrait really surprised me when I got her in hand. Lighting's important. We need to see more of that in their promotional work. With that said, I'm giving this release a 7 out of 10. It's solid, but it's still missing quite a bit, and the face ain't making up for that. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Consider becoming a member to the channel for behind-the-scenes content as well. This is Jonathan with Boston Collectors, and we'll see you next time.